Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode. As you guys have probably seen the headline, the tag to this, the title to it, and everything else, we are going to be taking a small break off the podcast, just because there's some things going on, which I'll get into in here in a minute. But I want to thank you guys all for always being here, the ones that are always here. Uh, Thank you guys very much. Thanks for the 5,000 subs to the channel. We appreciate that. That's a big milestone for us to hit. So I appreciate that highly. We got that today, I seen. So thank you guys very much for that. Thank you all the members of this channel. Content's not stopping. The podcast is not stopping. It is just taking a break. I promise you we will be back. But it's just taking a small break so we can get things set up and everything else, get employees trained, get some things going so we have time to devote to make it a good podcast. I just don't have enough time in a week to dedicate the 3 hours it takes to get a podcast produced, the content written for it, and all that stuff, and doing everything else along with everything else we're doing. So upcoming events, farmers markets coming up. We're getting that, employees hiring. Our youngest is graduating high school, so we got stuff we got to do with that. He has choir concerts and stuff like that to finish out. We want to be there for that as well. And just need to manage some home time. I got some chicken stuff I need to build to keep the chickens alive and I quit getting eaten by the fox. So there's stuff like that we need to take care of and everything else. So we want to make sure you do that. But there is ways to still connect with us. We will still be doing live streams of live harvestings on Sundays, Mondays, Fridays, live planting, other pop-up live streams as they go along and everything else as well. So that's what you can expect and see of us ongoing for that. We have meetings coming up. We have webinars coming up also within our coaching program, everything like that. So you can always catch us almost live somewhere if you're part of any of our groups, probably 5 to 6 days a week anyway. And that's kind of where we want to concentrate our thing is on our students, the paying members we have of that and everything else. We want to make sure we keep them happy and make sure we concentrate on them a lot while still giving you guys good, great content they put on this channel as well. That's just not just a podcast. So, and dedicate some time of getting some videos done, like the cilantro video and getting that stuff done on here that I've been promising that just haven't had time to do. So you can catch us on there. Our coaching program, if you guys don't know, we have 2 different kind of programs on Skool, SKOOL.com. One is Growth Bites, which you can see right here. This one is a free right now. This is a free community you can get into. It will be going to $5 a month, which you'll get daily videos out, new videos every day to your email. And that's over in the classroom right here. You get daily videos. You get them released to you every day after you join. You'll get a new video. You can get into that group right now for the community for free, but that is $5 for the Growth Bites. And you can connect with us there. As you can see, you can send us a message up here, notifications up there I need to get. That's our free community. Connect with us in our calendar. We do webinars on Thursdays over here. We do Growth Bite meetings and stuff like that. We do Q&A every month as well. So you can connect with us over there. And then we got the business coaching, which is $27 right now a month over there. You get everything besides the marketing. The marketing is $59 a month. Same thing. You get the whole community. You get all the classrooms. Over here, you can see everything. We got stuff about restaurants, microgreens in general and everything else. But you can connect with us over there, and we have a calendar there so you can see every day when we're live as well. If you get in right now for the $27 a month, I am going to include the marketing for free for 1 month for that. So the marketing for free for 1 month, which is right down here. Right now, there's 6 things in there you can get in for free, and you can take advantage of the next 4 ones are coming up, plus you get access to these last 6. So you're going to get like 10 marketing classes that are done with you live marketing to help you out and grow your business. So that's working with you live. You can ask questions in there, show your screens, all that stuff, everything else. Going to give that to you for free for 1 month if you join at the $27 a month, regularly at $59 a month. So that's how you can connect with us. That's how you can keep going with us and everything else. So we highly appreciate everybody being here in the podcast, everybody hitting 5,000 subs, all our members. We're going to do some special live streams with you as well for all our members. Everything that's how to stay connected with us. So again, appreciate you guys. We're not going anywhere. We're going to be here. We're going to be back as long as Andy wants to come back with me after the short break. I'm assuming you'd like to come back, Andy. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Count me in. I love it.
Awesome. I'm planning on like a 3 to 4 week break just kid gets out of school, graduates on May 19th. We'll get to finish everything up with him. There's a lot of stuff on Saturdays and a lot of stuff on Friday nights, which, that runs into a lot of stuff that we do here. So, well, we'll still be here and connecting with you guys though. So we do appreciate all of you for sure. And Andy will be back at the end of that. So
Yeah. And congrats on the 5,000 subs. I saw that when I actually went to set up my streaming to go to my YouTube page. I was like, ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's just a nice number, isn't
cool,
it?
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you guys invest a lot of time into that. So it's definitely good to see it like really starting to flourish. It's awesome. Definitely a good thing. So yeah, congrats, man. And if you guys aren't in that Growth Bites community yet, I mean, there's so much stuff going on in there. The community is awesome. A lot of great questions. There's a ton of people in there, so there's a lot of great answers, and obviously Mike and Jess, and I'm in there too. So, you're getting answers from the three of us anytime about different things. So definitely go in there and check it out. Get in for free. At least, that's a minimum. Easy. That's a no brainer. No brainer. Costs you nothing.
Free 99.
Yep. That's the best price.
Yes. So we thought we would just do like a Q&A today, guys, and just kind of celebrate you guys, celebrate the 5,000 subs, celebrate members. Obviously you guys would get first on there. Just kind of do a little Q&A. We'll go as long as you guys are interactive. Well, unless we have something else we want to say, or we'll go along, but as long as you're interactive up to 7:00 Central Standard Time. So the next 48 minutes, you can have a long Q&A with us today. Because again, we just didn't have time to plan anything out as a podcast and everything else. So we're just going to kind of be here hanging out, celebrating you members and everybody that's subbed to the channel as well.
Yeah, you guys have to understand, they're harvesting what, probably about 30 hours a week right now, at least, I would guess.
It's probably between the two of us. Let's see. Between the two of us and everything, it's probably near 55 to 60 hours, 50 hours, say. Yeah. Total between the two of us.
50 hours a week.
Yeah.
I mean, that's over 2 days worth of harvesting time in 7 days between the two of them. Yeah, I mean, you got to understand, they are swamped right now. So it's a great problem to have. They grew very quickly, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's a great problem to have. We love solving this problem for sure. And we got a distributor we're working on. We should, they just called us the other day and we're like, give us a few more weeks. We got to get the GAP certification done. We got to get the money together to pay for that, because I mean, to get all the business that we got with these food banks and getting in, which we haven't got paid from the big one yet. I mean, it costs $25,000 to get all that equipment, get the trays, get the racks, get the lights, get all that stuff, everything else. Luckily, we were in a position to do that, but we're now in a position we need to get paid, too. So like, cause that was a lot of money. That was our 4 months worth, the 5 months worth of expenses built up, so like we got to get that money built back up again. So it does take a lot to do that, but you got to put yourself in that position. Luckily we were in that position that we could say yes to that, go get the stuff real fast and get it done and everything else. And otherwise, we wouldn't be able to take that business on. So putting yourself in the right position to solve them problems that comes up, which is good. So.
Yep.
And I know Andy's been there before where he's had to add a lot of stuff for distributor and stuff as well.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're adding 12 racks all in one shot, which you guys probably added, I'm guessing at least that, if
18.
not more. Yeah. 18 racks worth all in one shot. That's a lot to take on overnight. I mean, just 12 was insane. And I had a team, I mean, these guys are doing it by themselves with their son helping, and that's it. So that's a whole lot of responsibility to take on all at once. But luckily, they're very freaking good at what they do. So it was easy for them to actually make that adaptation. And plus, they think, so it's not just a matter of like, hey, let me go buy all these racks. They're thinking ahead like, oh, I'm going to need a lot more soil. I'm going to need a lot more seed. I'm going to need a lot more packaging. I'm going to need a lot more, a million other things. So, and they actually have a list that I found out not long ago that for every 6 racks they add, they know exactly, they have a list set aside that tells them exactly what they need to get, so it's a good thing to have something like that for when you have to all of a sudden drop a bunch of money on new equipment and make sure that you're going to be taken care of. So it definitely makes a big difference. And for us, the biggest thing that we got bid on was humidity. We had never thought about how much that was going to change the humidity in the place. So we had to buy a large Marge as a result, to take care of the new humidity that we had just added from 12 additional racks. So it's kind of nuts, when you all of a sudden grow that big. But when you get to the size that we are, it's a lot easier to take on a bigger client like that because you already have so much of it under control. But you can still never totally get it 100% right, as you're going to have some growing pains, as they call it. They call it that for a reason, so it's always something.
Yep.
But see, we got some questions rolling along too.
And we've had some problems, with the change of the humidity and doing stuff and everything else. So we've had some issues with some trays versus what we've had perfect grow for the last 6 to 8 months and being in here, that we found out, and we're going to need a second dehumidifier. We got Large Marge's brother. It's not the same model as Andy, but it does, it's the same volume as Andy's. So we need another one of them just to help control that, because it's a lot more humidity in here that we thought that one would be able to take care of. And it's just right at the verge. It's like right at 50. I'd like to get it to 45. So it's like maintaining that 50, but we want to get it to 45. So we're going to have to add another one, and we'll just get another big one just for when we grow more. We'll have that ability to do that without adding anything.
Yep. It's always a way to go. Yeah, that is just harvesting.
It's not everything else that goes into a business. And just the working size, that's not, you're talking planting, you're talking watering, you're talking all the other little things. And then you got the back end of paperwork to run and everything else too. So, so
invoicing everybody, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent literally all day yesterday doing nothing but office work. I mean, it's all day, just getting invoices sent out, getting checks deposited, which is the best part to do.
Yeah.
But, following up with a bunch of emails and filling out forms. And it's just unbelievable how much crap you have to do just to be able to keep up.
Yeah.
So Josh, I love it, man. Y'all are crushing it.
Josh.
Yep, they sure are. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. So you guys are what, at 30 racks now, at least?
31.
No, more than that.
31.
Nice.
We need to add a 32nd one in, because our base, we've got one that we did just for basil. We kind of turn him to the side. It's with over here on this one side, and it runs with the 2 T5s on each shelf, 6 shelves to growing, like you do on all of your stuff. We stowed that to do the basil.
Yeah.
What did I hit? So that's our 31 rack that we built, and then the basil orders went up from, instead of 5, now we're up to 7 a week. So I need to build a second rack of that. So I need a 32nd rack, because right now they germinate on top without light for the first week until I can rotate them down, which it's working fine, but it's not 100% ideal. But
that's awesome, man. It's crazy. It can happen though.
Yeah,
just find the right place.
What'd you say? Those are full harvested every week. Yeah, full harvested 7 trays every week. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Of basil. Yeah, that's where the basil seeds went, Josh. That's why I needed them. Mandy helped us out with that. We got a hold of her and asked her if they had any basil, because it wasn't on their site, and asked if they had any, and she took care of us and got us 3 pounds of basil seeds to get us by. And so we do appreciate them, guys. That's one great thing about dealing with a smaller seed company. You can talk to the people who can affect it and do something right away. So,
yep.
All right, what questions we got? Let's bring up some questions.
Let's bring up some questions. We got quite a few. Lorena, Mama always said, never say no to free.
Yeah,
Gotta
for
love
real.
That. Rob Riggins asks,
Hey,
how
Rob.
do you do moisture control so no mold grows?
Dehumidifier. That's number one thing. That's really going to be your biggest thing, right, Andy?
Yeah, that and just airflow, get your fans moving. And a lot of people think, fans have to be blowing directly on microgreens. No. You just need air movement in the room. It doesn't matter how it's moving. Both Mike and I, we basically have like our rack set up in rows, and we've got a fan that just literally blows right down the middle of the aisle. That's just the easiest way. It doesn't need to oscillate, nothing. Just enough to keep that air moving so mold has a difficult time landing on your crops. You just want to keep it moving through the air so it doesn't have the opportunity to try and actually land. So yeah, dehumidifier 100%. That's an absolute have to have, especially if you have a decent amount of crops that you're growing. But yeah, secondary is definitely going to be airflow.
Agreed.
For sure. All right, another question from Rob. Have you ever thought about growing food mushrooms? Food mushrooms also.
Yeah, not the synthetic ones. I get you. If this is the right Rob Riggins, this is a friend from school from my hometown. So a lot of people
nice.
there love the other kind of mushrooms. So
Yeah, we haven't even we've
yeah.
never thought about it, honestly.
I gave it about a 5-minute worth of thought, but then it was like, I know I don't want to deal with it. Just because people were asking, and I was like, no.
Yeah, there's just so
Different
many
growing
other
process.
opportunities to grow. Yeah, it's totally different.
different. So you'd have to have a separate room, separate controls. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Probably a big difference for here in Colorado. No humidity to start. Yeah, you have no humidity there.
Yeah. Yeah, literally zero. But those plants will still create it. Don't worry about that.
Oh yeah, you'll have humidity if you start growing them. Yep. We'll let
Yeah, I
them
mean,
guys
don't get
deal
me
with that.
wrong. Yeah, there's mushroom growers I see at the farmers market that sell out every single week.
Yep.
It's not a bad business. It's just, when you're already doing one thing and it would have to be in a totally separate room, totally different growing method, is just adding on too much hassle, essentially. I mean, Joe, I don't know if he's on here or not, but he does both successfully. So it's not like you can't do it, just we choose not to.
Yep.
Lorena says, and for every tray harvested, there is a bottom tray that has to be cleaned too. Over 1,000 trays a week that have to be cleaned.
Yeah.
And don't forget about the tray on top too.
And the top tray
to put
for
weights.
germination.
That's 120 trays by itself.
Yeah. And my tray washer has been out for the last 2 weeks, and so our tray stack is getting gigantic. She needs to clean. It's really bad.
The kid got him knocked out in like
throat.
12 hours this week.
Yeah.
He was like just under 12 hours of cleaning, and got everything cleaned.
That's just not trays. That's the 1,200 plus trays. That's all the bins you use, the knives, all the other stuff too that they're cleaning in that aspect too. So
yeah. Yep.
For running, $12,000, $13,000 a week in business, 12 hours of cleaning dishes is not too shabby. That's pretty fast.
Yeah, I'd say that's definitely a good trade-off.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Next question.
Right. Rob put up a 26.5-foot greenhouse.
Nice.
Joan, 2 questions. Opinions on growing in a freight container under shade, and 2, what are your best selling microgreens?
Go ahead, Andy.
I think the freight container thing, it's got to be clean. I mean, that's one of the hardest things with those things. They're prone to rust. They're prone to, insects and mice and things to be able to get in really easily. So if you seal that thing really well, insulate it really well, do it the right way, it's certainly not out of the realm of possibility. It's a decent amount of square footage. So you can get, I don't know how many racks in there, but maybe 10-ish tight. I mean, it'd be tight. But it's certainly a possibility. I wouldn't do it myself just because I would want the environment to be really, really clean. I mean, you're still ultimately growing food that people are going to put into their bodies, so I really take that seriously with all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, you can finish those out on the inside and make them spotless. But you've got to make sure that nothing can get in, because it's really easy for rodents, insects, whatever, to be able to actually get inside there and just destroy everything you've got. So that's the main reason why I would never do it myself. As far as best-selling microgreens go, for restaurants, we have a mix that we call a rainbow mix. It's a mix of rainbow radish, broccoli, and amaranth. We sell a ton of that. Distributors love it. The restaurants love it. Grocery stores, it's for us. We don't do as much of the mix thing like Mike and Jess do. It's something we actually want to get into. But for right now, it's kind of like spicy salad mix from True Leaf, and then broccoli is probably our top 2, I would say.
For us, our top selling microgreens is broccoli, peas, kale now, radishes, and we got a mix that we call Brassica blend, which is probably number 5 for us. So again, and then we got a lot of mixes that go in there, but that's just talking crops that are seeds. They're coming out, but the Brassica blend, we seed it all together. So it's broccoli, kale, and cabbage that we seed all together. And we call it Brassica blend. So that's becoming a really, really popular one to people now. So they're liking that one.
Yep.
And yes,
Our
I agree on
version
the
of that
breakage.
is-
Go ahead.
Yeah. Our version of our Brassica blend that we threw together was literally our bottom 3 individual sellers. We mixed them together, and then now it's like in our top 5.
Nice.
So it's literally just cabbage, kale, and kohlrabi. And that's it. It's really good. That's one of my favorites, honestly. Really, really good. So we just do an exact 1/3 of each seed and mix them all up ahead of time and then plant them all together. It's really good, especially if you like cabbage.
Yes.
Facebook user, any tips to seed evenly?
Practice. We use a spice jar that has a lid on it, which I find to help. That's what I found to help in the beginning. I could probably seed without it now, but in the very beginning, that really, really does help. And so I just continue the same process. It just makes it simple and easy. But you can do out of a souffle cup. I think Andy does that out of a souffle cup, and you can get practice down to seed evenly. It just takes practice, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, when I'm trying to teach new people how to seed, I tell them, just basically, we use these little souffle cups, like a little plastic cup about that tall. And I just, tell them to just go back and forth, keep moving their hand and keep slowly tilting it forward until the seeds just start coming out, and then go all the way up and all the way back and all the way up as many times as you need to get started. And then that way, at least you're getting like a light spreading across the whole tray from one side to the other. And eventually you'll get really good at it to where you can just literally start at the bottom and go up one single time, knowing exactly how many seed are in that thing. You just get it by feel, essentially, to know that you're going to be right at the end when you run out of seed. But that's really it. I just try and teach people to just take your time, start slow, because if you just dump a whole bunch right off the bat, it's going to be a nightmare, and you're going to be like, oh man, now I got to spread all these by hand. And, so just do it slowly and get that habit down. But we just try and teach them, just go, straight across basically with that cup and just slowly keep tilting it forward until everything comes out. But yeah, the shakers work great. I've never used one, but I've seen tons and tons of people that have had great success with that. So that's always an option too. And then that way it's forcing you, to only allow a certain amount to come out at a time. So you may want to look into that. And they obviously make like the caps with different size holes in them. So for the smaller seed, you can use the smaller holed ones and stuff like that. You don't want to use them for like peas or anything like that, because they're not going to go through the holes.
Even like radishes don't go out of the holes very well. I just take the lid off and shake it out of the shaker still. Radishes, leeks, stuff like that. It's just too big to get out. That's going to make it. So, but it's just the same process then. So I always just say, whatever process you're using, you keep it the same. So you got a shaker, use it, maybe just different lids, maybe no lid. That way it's always the same fill no matter what you're seeding. If you're using a souffle cup, same process every time, no matter what size seed it is, it's going to be the same process of shaking out, because just because the seeds are heavier and bigger, they're going to spread almost exactly the same method, same shaking method, depending on not mattering what seed it is. So, but practice. You're going to mess up first. You're going to dump some seeds in a spot that's going to be a big clump, and you're going to have to spread it out. It's going to happen. You just got to practice. And if you're hiring people, always remember that they're going to fuck it up. You got to fix it.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, the nice thing is it's not that hard to fix badly spread seed. I mean, you can literally move it around by hand if you have to. It's not the end of the world, but it's still not fun.
Just don't do it. You can't do it with basil.
Yeah.
Invisible basils.
In the live group, what do you mean by live group?
Kathy is over in, I think, Andy's Facebook group right now. So maybe she's just making sure you guys are actually live over in the Facebook group.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, we must be.
You're on here.
Well, Kathy's awesome. She actually lives in Maryland too. She's unfortunately about 4 hours from me at least, though. Even a little tiny state of Maryland.
Josh wants to know, so you got some people hired. Talk about that process. What was it you were looking for in a good application?
We are in the process of still hiring. So what I'm looking for in an application personally, probably because of comfortability, and the fact that it's long hours, it's on your feet, it's all that. They're using knives, they're dealing with food. Is I'm looking for somebody who's been in restaurants, because they understand what it's going to take 8, 10, 12 hours on your feet sometimes, and they're going to understand that working. They're going to understand you're going to do dishes. You're going to get dirty. You're going to get wet. It's not completely clean. You got dirt rolling around. You're going to get dirty. So for me, I'm looking for people from restaurants or some industry where they've had to stand on their feet, warehouse workers, something like that. So you got to make sure what you're looking for. You don't want to get an office worker. Sorry if you're an office worker, but you probably don't want to try and find somebody who's only ever worked in offices. It might work if it's the right person, but you got to be very, very stringent on that, what you're hiring there, because they're going to be used to setting like we are right now for 8 hours a day. They're going to be on their feet now. It's going to be, their feet's going to hurt and they're not going to be used to it. So for me, that's what I'm looking for. Somebody in that kind of realm, industry and everything like that. And again, it's probably more comfortability because I spent 23 years in the restaurant business. So that's probably what I'm. Andy, what was your process? What did you look for when you were hiring?
I mean, I've hired 3 people that it was their first job they've ever had.
That's not bad
Honestly,
either.
and yeah, and a lot of those guys have worked out really, really well, which is fantastic. Or what I usually try and do is like put the word out inside of my friend group and find out, does anybody know anybody that is looking for a job, and then that way at least I know coming in the door, I know someone who knows them, just I know it sounds weird, but like it just adds a little bit of extra credibility to a certain extent. I mean, and the funny thing is like one of my full-time employees was probably one of the worst interviewers I've ever interviewed. Like they're very, very introverted, wouldn't even look me in the face when I was talking. And when they were talking to me, they were just looking down the whole entire time. And, I thought, okay, it is what it is. At the time I really needed somebody. And so I brought them on to give them a try, and they've been fantastic, so now, I mean, they worked for me for 3.5 years, I guess, at this point. So you never know. I mean, it's like, for example, one time I was coaching a volleyball team, and at the end of the season, like, I don't know how many volleyball players came over and wanted to come work for me. And there was one girl who just busted her butt in practice every single day. And there was another girl who was like super lazy in practice. And the girl who busted her butt came to me first. I'm sorry, the girl who was lazy came to me first. So I brought her on. And then the girl that busted her butt came to me after the fact, and I hired her on. Well, the girl that busted her butt in practice ended up being a completely useless employee. And the girl who was the laziest in practice turned out to be one of the best employees I've ever had. So it's very hard to know if they're going to work for you until they're literally in your environment, doing the jobs that need to be done. Are they going to fit in with your culture? That's insanely important. I can't stress that enough when you're hiring people. If they don't, if their world is completely different than everybody else you've got that works for you, it's going to be very tough for them to become part of your team. It's really important for everybody to feel like they're part of this big group, like a family essentially of employees. I mean, all the people that work for me, they know they can call me at any time for any reason. If their car breaks down, I'm going to go take care of them. We treat them to lunch all the time, just doing little things to make them feel appreciated. And that's important, because I want them to come to work knowing Andy's an awesome boss, and I'm going to do what I have to do because I want to make sure that his company thrives and that he's being represented correctly. And that's a tough thing to get because, like Mike said earlier, kind of alluded to it a little bit anyway, is that no one will ever work as hard as you. No one's ever going to care about your business as much as you, so no matter who you hire, doesn't matter if it's your, I mean, you guys obviously work together as husband and wife, but, if you have a girlfriend or something like that, you decide you want to bring them in and they're going to, be part of your business, they aren't going to care about it as much as you. And that may cause problems in your relationship. So, just some things to think about. But, for the most part, what we found is just, we try and give most people a chance. If they just rub me the wrong way completely from the interview, then, I mean, I have turned numerous people down. We get people that come in all the time asking for a job, and, I'm just like, and I kind of feel them out right there on the spot and see if I think they're going to fit our culture. And if I don't think they will, then it's not even worth pursuing for the most part. But, yeah, it's tough to find good people, and it's tough to find people that you can bring in and they're going to be good at everything you want them to be good at. I had 2 dishwashers. One was the primary, one was the backup. The primary dishwasher cannot spread soil to save her life. I mean, it's like, the Luray Caverns, basically, when she's done putting the soil into the tray. It's awful. So I don't have her plant, whereas the backup dishwasher got extra hours because she's really good at planting. She's really good at spreading seed. She picked all that stuff up immediately. This is that one volleyball player that was lazy in practice, so you just never know. You never, ever, ever know. But the biggest thing, and we've talked about this in the past, is be quick to fire. If you find that person's not working out, then don't waste your time. Find somebody else, because that's really important. You're wasting money, you're wasting training time, you're wasting your time teaching them stuff. It's a lot. I mean, it can take a year literally to really get somebody completely, fully up to speed to where they can plant, they can water. I know it sounds insane, but watering is probably one of the toughest jobs to do on a microgreens farm, especially if you're growing amaranth and cilantro and beets and, a whole variety of different things. They can easily kill a huge chunk of stuff if they don't understand the watering piece of it. So, that part alone, it's me and my daughter are the only two people that are allowed to water in my farm, period. Nobody else can touch that hose because none of them know it as well as the two of us do. And one of us is always available to do it. So for what it's worth, we make sure we keep that job inside, but not to say that we don't teach people how to do it, but until we see that they're doing it successfully, consistently, it's not worth, going down that road with them. But, find what your employees are good at and find what your employees are willing to do. If you've got somebody who's like, hey, I'm totally cool with washing dishes. Awesome. That's the best employee you can find because they're doing the most garbagey job in the whole farm. I have a delivery driver that most of what she does is just running deliveries. She does help harvest and she does help plant, but it's minor in comparison to just doing the delivery piece of it because she loves to drive. She has no problem being in the car all day long. Which is awesome. So it's really like finding the right person for the right job and making sure they fit in with your team. And I know that was a super long-winded answer, but hopefully it gave a lot of good info.
Basically what he said in a nutshell: hire slow, fire fast.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Yep.
That's it. Yeah.
You got to find a team that's going to work together.
Yeah. My team literally hangs out outside of work. They go to concerts together. They go out to, bars and stuff together. I mean, it's awesome to see like their actual friendships developing, because when you work with your friends that whether you start as friends or whether you become friends, which is even more important, I think, then, they want to be at work because they know they're going to be hanging out with people that they like, which it makes a big difference. And that's where that culture piece comes in. So you're 100% right, Rob. 100%.
Can you see two-handed yet?
I'm close. I've actually practiced at that, and I am pretty close of getting that down. So
he's going to be dangerous if he does.
Yeah, I will say I can spread soil with two hands at a time pretty well, but I've never tried seeding. That'd be a brave thing to take on.
I am ambidextrous, so I can throw left-handed, right-handed,
oh, nice.
way and stuff. So like. I have some advantages that's only because I cut my wrist when I was little. I went through a window. I didn't physically cut it myself.
Yeah.
So think of that, So I didn't have use of my hand for like a year and a half. So I learned how to do a lot of things left-handed. So you have to do it like backwards. So if you want to do it, like if anybody wants to practice that, you're going this way. So your left hand is moving this side of the tray. Your right hand's got to move on the right side of the tray first. And then you go up the center. That's the way to do it. So.
There's a secret to it.
Man, now we have to try this.
I'm
very right-handed, but I do a ton of stuff with my left hand when I'm planting. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jess.
Oh, you're good. He wants to know, what is the hardest things to grow?
Hardest things, amaranth probably number one, just because of the watering. Beets can be a challenge, but I do have a video on that. Cilantro can be a challenge. Probably my top 3.
Yeah, those definitely be my top 3. 100%. 100%. And amaranth's definitely number 1. Definitely number 1. It hates to be alive. It really does.
Unless you throw it in the crack of the driveway. Then it'll
be like, woo, look at me.
Do you get vacation time or too busy? My guess with this stuff, always busy.
If you're talking to us, yeah, no. Like we went into this knowing that it was going to be 5 years plus that we wouldn't get a vacation, we wouldn't get time away. So we're in our 4th year. So if we get a vacation sometime late next year, great. But yeah, we weren't planning on that for 5+ years. So I know it took Andy quite a while before he took a vacation as well.
Yeah, it was about 3 years before we were able
Yeah.
to finally go on one, and it's only because I had a team that I could trust, but at the same time, we went on vacation, and
And
me
Amaranth
and my
died.
daughter were on vacation, and all my Amaranth died because it got overwatered. So, it came at a huge cost. And
Wonder
you're
why they're
talking,
the only
like,
2 that can water.
probably yeah, you're talking probably 40 or 50 or 60 trays of Amaranth that were all dead. So it was not enjoyable, but it is what it is. And believe it or not, we didn't miss a single order, which
That's
is hard to
awesome.
believe
Yeah.
because we
Really
planned
awesome.
ahead. So
Arugula was my
yeah, arugula.
kryptonite before I got great seeds from Greener Harvest Seeds. Got them arugula seeds. It changed my game. I was ready to throw arugula out, get done with it, be done. I was trying to figure out what else I could put in a mix that goes with the arugula in, because I was done with it. And then I'm like, I'll try Greener Harvest arugula seeds. They grew beautiful. I get almost 10 ounces out of them now. They grow beautiful. So get good quality seeds. You might change your mind on that.
Had a good growing method.
And a good growing method. Good soil, good medium. Get some Coco Loco or something good like that,
Yeah.
Joe, amaranth is the #1 seed that germinates in my worm castings after being eaten by worms and put into potting mix.
That's about right.
Yep. Oh man. Such a stupid plant.
Yes. But it's beautiful looking.
Yeah, but I would agree. Arugula is probably number 4 on the difficult to grow list.
Not for me anymore. I'm happy with it. So.
Yeah.
Tracy just wanted to say hi.
Nice.
Glad they snuck in before it ended today.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thanks, Tracy. No other questions?
Lorena recently received a farmer's market application and they're asking for several things, business license, etc. Where should I start first? City Hall, Department of Ag, local small business development center.
I would say City Hall and see what they require for in your city and your county. You may not need a full business. You may be able to do business as, but it depends on what they require. So first would be City Hall for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, your small business development center is not really going to necessarily help you with those kinds of questions. They're more like if you've already got a business, they're going to help give you resources to grow it. That's kind of more what their job is. And the Department of Ag isn't going to have any idea. So I think that's definitely your best bet. I mean, we set up our LLC through LegalZoom. It's not the cheapest way to do it, but it's really easy. So that's certainly an option too if you decide to go that route.
Yeah, we've done LegalZoom before. I think we did our Zen business is what we did our last one on. This one. So
yeah.
And we didn't incorporate for 2.5 years. So we were just doing business as. So you might be able to get away with that and save yourself some money. And then when you get money, we probably should incorporate it a lot earlier, but we were still growing in the house, didn't find a need really to do it, because if you're growing in your house, you're liable pretty much anyway, because it's in your house. There's a lot of things there. So we didn't find a need for it. So we waited until we moved into the warehouse before we incorporated all the way. So we're finding out now we probably should have done it earlier, with some things, but
Yeah, because you can do a sole proprietorship under your social security number too. That's another option. So you don't have to have what's called an EIN, which is basically like a business number, numeric identifier or whatever. Yeah.
Employer identification number. You can have an EIN under your social. Yeah, we had that.
Yep. So that's an option too.
I have questions, guys. What the heck?
That's it.
That's all.
I know somebody asked about how my space was coming along.
Oh shoot, I missed that. Where's it at?
It was way up. It was one of the first questions, I think.
Oh,
it was John Claus. Sorry, John Claus. How's your space coming along, Andy?
So, the electric was hooked up on yesterday, I guess. Thank God. So I have 3 inspections left. The final electrical, which will hopefully be done on Monday, It's already been scheduled. Final plumbing, which I was hoping to get scheduled on Monday, they can't come until Wednesday, which really sucks because then that means my final, which is like the final building, if you will, wouldn't happen until at least Thursday. And I'm hoping to move next Saturday. So that makes scheduling a U-Haul really difficult
Yeah.
because I can't, I may be scheduling it on Friday to pick it up Saturday morning. And I don't know that that's going to be possible. Oh
Hopefully
my
it's
gosh,
available.
my cousin Deborah's on here.
Oh,
Nice. That's awesome. She does some awesome pour art. She's so freaking talented. Yep, there she is there. Go on Facebook, follow Art by Deborah Rose. Her stuff is awesome. Awesome. It's beautiful the work that she does. And she's one of the sweetest people on the face of the earth.
the advice given by an accountant is start a sole proprietor because it's a whole lot easier than dissolve if necessary. Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
Most businesses don't make it a year. We're trying to help people
Yeah.
avoid that, with our
Yep.
coaching programs and stuff, trying to help people make sure they stay in business because it's hard.
Yeah.
It is.
That's the goal.
It's not for everybody, guys. This business in general is not for everybody to run because it does take a lot of work. No matter what you're getting into, it's going to take a lot of work in the beginning. Plan 3 to 5 years minimum before you're going to take a vacation, before you're going to do anything, because you're going to have to be there at your business. So it's not for everybody. If you have to take 2 weeks of vacation every year, do not start a business of any kind.
Yeah. Yep. It's almost impossible to get that amount of time off. The only advice I've given people, if they really want to do this kind of part-time, is to set up seasonal CSAs. So you've got like a 3-month microgreen subscription, then you take a month off, and then you got another 3-month microgreen subscription, and then you take a month off, or whatever. But obviously, you've also got planting time that's involved. So it's not like you could just turn it on and turn it off and you're done. Before your first delivery, you got to go back 2 or 3 weeks, depending on what you're growing. So,
Yep.
it's just really important to have all that planned. But that's about the only way you're going to be able to have a microgreen business and have a life where you can actually get out and be away completely. Even automated watering is not going to save you. I mean, automated watering is great if you can make it happen, but it's not going to harvest your plants. It's not going to put them in packages for you, and it's not going to deliver them, to whoever you need to deliver them to. So, just keep that in mind. It's a full-time 7-day a week, and we worked on Christmas, we've worked on Easter, we've worked on New Year's Day. You don't have a choice. It's a farm. You don't plant, you don't water, you don't do those kinds of things. You're done. So,
Yeah,
but
the
that's
plants
about
don't
the
care
closest
that
you
it's
can get.
Christmas.
Yeah, no,
plants
they
do
don't.
not care.
You can give them little presents and they don't care.
They don't care. We were harvesting on Christmas this year. It was on a Monday.
Yeah.
It's harvest day. We're here harvesting. If you want to be a family
Yep.
function, hey guys, we can do Saturday. We'll celebrate it then. We can do Saturday evening. We'll be able to do it then. But that's it. That's your time.
Yeah, literally.
All
Literally.
Joan, I have greener harvest seeds. Any tips on growing amaranth? I'm dying to know.
On amaranth, don't water it.
A mesh bootstrap tray.
Yeah. Yeah, I would recommend we grow them in the bootstrap trays that are the mesh ones. So they got a whole bunch of holes in them. They're called mesh. That way it gets more evenly distributing water and the roots don't have to go search through it through the slots. We found out that works better for arugula as well. We use it for arugula, beets, amaranth. I think that's it. Yeah. We have a whole bunch of them because that's how we had to buy. Because that's all that was available at the time during, bootstrap bringing the stuff back over here and what they had available. And we had to have trays. So I have probably 100 trays that I don't even plant in that I have mesh trays because they suck to get the rest of the stuff out of. They really do. Like if you've planted sunflowers or peas in them, don't do it.
Oh yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah, they're a giant pain in the butt to clean. We have probably 30, I think we bought at one point, and I used them one time, and I've never used them since. They've been
The
sitting on a
amaranth,
stack on the top of one of the shelves for years.
the amaranth and arugula kind of falls out really good, like because it's loose soil because they don't get really rooted. It comes out really easy. So especially with the Coco Loco in there.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't take much seed because obviously the seeds are super, super small. I don't remember what we seed it at. I feel like you guys do more than we do.
Yeah,
I remember right.
You know.
Now I get to watch both of you guys stare at your other screens.
Yep.
Yep, just pulling up Farm Flow. So we do 8 grams. 8 grams of seed, which is, I mean, the seed is so microscopically small, but we do weight ours. We wait it for 3 days. We actually put it in blackout, which is one of the few things that we do black out. So we black it out for 1 day, and then it's under the light, and we harvest it 14 days.
What is your seeding density
8
on it? 8. I do 10 grams.
Yeah.
Okay, so both
I knew
very
you guys did
close.
more.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, just like Mike said, I mean, just be really careful watering it, because it's a fine line.
Oh,
You
if
give
you're
it a little
bottom
too much,
watering,
and
if you're bottom watering, raise it up, turn it on mist. Like seriously,
yeah,
done.
yeah, it takes very little. Because you give it too much, it's one of the easiest damping off plants that I've ever grown in my entire life. And if you don't give it enough, it also just goes, nope, I'm dead. So you just got to find that very, very sweet spot, where you got enough water, but it's not too much. So it's a tough one to grow. I would definitely not recommend it for a beginner. So if it's something you're just trying to grow just to grow it, play around with it, but don't expect to sell a whole lot of it right away, because it's going to take some time to get used to. It's not an easy one.
And it's a very light crop. You're not going to get high yields out of it.
Yeah.
Very light.
Yep.
I think,
We're about 4.5 ounces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our average. Yeah.
Yeah. We're between like 3 and 4, depending.
Yeah. Right there. Yeah. And we see just slightly more grams. So that might be why we get.
Yeah. That would definitely explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. And I would say like the seed, if you've got the white seed, it's going to be a lot better than if you've got the dark brown seed. Joe can certainly attest to this too. We both got seed from Mums. You do not want to buy amaranth from Mums. Mums has great seed. Do not buy their amaranth seed. It's absolute horrible to work with. Joe has a ton left. I finally eventually got through all of ours, thank God, and we switched. And it's so much better with the white seed. I don't know what the difference is, but for whatever reason, it's just it germinates better, it grows better. It's a little bit more water tolerant, but that dark brown seed, or it's almost black, it's awful, awful, awful.
Joe says he does 15 grams and then straight to blackout for 5 days. So that's interesting. So
I will experiment with that,
that's
Joe.
interesting.
Yeah.
We'll try.
This could be fun.
Also gonna
what are you getting for yields, Joe?
Yeah, what's your yield? Yeah. I was going to also experiment with amaranth of growing it in the 5x5 bootstrap trays to give it more airflow. And maybe that helps a little bit too. Don't know.
Yeah.
But always experimenting, always trying new things. And yeah, I know Joe loves his mesh trays. I know that's basically all he uses, I think, for the most part. His plan is to do automatic watering down the road. And I do agree, like if you're going to do automatic watering, mesh trays would be the way to go. And you just have to deal with taking the roots out, because there's just going to get better watering in them.
He's got a 6-ounce harvest weight. That's good.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I have to test that.
This do not buy
for real.
those.
No. No.
Here, I've got his tax number and his handyman business. Wasn't hard 10 years ago. Now, since COVID, I've been doing my own house and finishing upstairs floors. Got stuff coming Friday and next roof, then solar generator and batteries. Hey, that's all sorts of fun.
Nice.
Yeah. That's a project.
Enjoyed, learned. Thanks for doing this stuff. Definitely needed this in the world. Bless y'all.
Thanks, Rob.
Appreciate it, man.
Lorena asks, Andy, can you tell us how you have been so successful at maintaining the home delivery side of your business? What percentage of your business is home delivery / subscription?
Number of customers, it's definitely more than all of our restaurants and grocery stores, but money, it's way less. Because obviously, they're buying, it could be anything, $5 all the way up to like $65 a week. So it takes a lot more home delivery customers to cancel out like one restaurant's worth of pay you get a month or a week anyway. So really it's just, we're consistent about just kind of pushing out to our local Facebook groups just to say, hey, we're a local farm. This is what we do. That definitely helps. You can also run like really mild Facebook ads, and stuff like that. We tend to share like things from our restaurants that they actually post as well, so people can see how they're being used in food, which definitely helps out. But I mean, it's not something we're like crazy with pursuing, but uh, we tend to use Facebook ads, I would say, probably more than anything, just to really, and they're really mild. We have a really low threshold. I think it's like $1 a day or something. It's just enough to keep them flowing, to get them popping up in people's feeds. And we target a local area, but that's it. We just let Facebook figure it out, because it'll slowly kind of tailor its way through to figure out who wants to see those ads and who doesn't. So just kind of let it do its thing. I mean, that's why they're so huge. The algorithms that they have kind of take care of a lot of that stuff for you, which is nice. But other than that, I mean, it's just a matter of like, getting out of the community. We talk at a lot of events. So any opportunity we get to talk in person, bring samples, educate the public all in one shot. You're talking to 40 or 50, 60 people that are interested in microgreens or farming in general. So bring samples, bring handouts, information about subscriptions, talk about your subscription program. It's just a really easy way to do it. Plus, we work with local farms, like normal farms, and we get into their CSA programs. So essentially we can sell wholesale to the farm, and then they sell directly to their customers as well. So we don't have to do any of the delivery. We just hand a pile of packs over to the farm, and then they basically take care of it from there, which is definitely helpful too. So just some things to think about if you want to work on trying to expand your like direct to consumer market.
How tall do you let your amaranth get? I seen a picture a long time ago where the amaranth was like 4 inches tall.
How long they let that grow?
No, definitely not. Yeah. You'd have to put that in blackout for a few days to get it to be that tall.
For a while.
I would say ours is maybe 3 inches, maybe two to 3 inches, I would guess. Yeah. It's not super tall.
It's like arugula height.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely right. Yep. It's taller than basil, but not quite as tall as arugula.
Detroit Mike says he does a CSA also. Love it.
Yep. Yeah, it's
Definitely.
awesome. It works great. It works really good. Because I mean, then the farm is pushing your product for you. All you have to do is just drop off a bunch of packs, and they take care of it from there, and they make money on it. So they love it.
And we have one of our students. They got 2 CSAs kind of close to being right out of the gate within the first few months of business, and it was like 200 each order, I think, each week for them. So they were like 400 packs right away. So yeah, they just doing a CSA. It was a 3-month trial run. So hopefully they get to keep that. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yep. It's a way to do it.
He sells out every week. That's awesome.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Nice. Is that what reference is that to? Is that some 420 reference that getting it that high?
Oh, that's true. It is 420.
Eat your greens, y'all.
Eat your greens. Don't smoke them. Yeah, I don't. I don't know.
We black it out for one day. Yeah, we do black it out for one day, but that's it. And it's just enough to give it a little extra height. We don't want it to get too tall because then it gets a little stringy.
Yep. Then it's cotton candy.
5 days of blackout. Yeah. That's interesting. We'll definitely have to try some trays with your method, Joe.
Yep. I thought we had to get at least one joke in of that today. All right, we're gonna do a giveaway today. All right.
Everybody get some hashcats tags in there.
Hash what? Hash hat?
Hashtags. Hashtags in there.
Yep. So put in hashtag Thumbcast into the chat if you want to be entered in to win. $420 giveaway.
$420 giveaway.
Not like that, John Claus.
Not that kind of greens.
We've got 11 and 12 entries right now.
We have 23
they're
people
popping up like crazy now.
So let's go. Yeah, there we go.
Yep. Hashtag Thumbcast. Everybody's getting
we did a free we did a lot of giveaways Thursday night. We did the Growth Bites community for hitting 100 members. We did a live on that get together party and everything else, played some music, had some lights flashing behind us, we're partying up. Answered a lot of questions, did a lot of giveaways. At the end, we did a giveaway, grand prize giveaway for everybody that was still there. that we're going to do a live one-on-one call, 1 hour, which is $147 value. Jess accidentally put a blank space on that. So I'm like, okay, if it hits a blank space for the 9 people that are here, we will give everybody here a 30-minute call. And guess what spot it landed on? So we gave away 9 30-minute one-on-one calls for free from a free group that we did a free call with, a 3-hour hangout, 3+ hour hangout with. And then we're giving out 9 30-minute calls to everybody for free. So we do a lot of things in that Growth Bites community for free. Yep.
That's
Lorena
awesome.
was there. Aspen Lease, Karina was there. Yes.
Nice.
Itty bitty disco. It was.
When I remember seeing your post about asking what music to play, and Lorena must have posted like 50 different songs.
It was 79.
79 songs.
Wow. Holy cow.
And I thank her for that, because the more interaction in the group, the more it helps get out to people. So, because school does push groups as well, so for discoverability and all that. So the more interaction there is, there's good. And talking about school, just one more time, guys, for $27 a month, you can get in, if Jess can make that bigger, you can get into the Microgreens Business Coaching side, $27, and you get all the classrooms. And for the first month, we're going to give you all the classrooms that include the marketing course as well, which is a $59 a month value. So for $27, you're getting, hundreds, thousands of dollars probably value, because you can get the past 6 episodes of these marketing thing, which, marketing's the key of growing any business, especially microgreen business. And then you'll get 4 more lives where you can come in and join Jess as she does them every week. So you'll get a full month of them, all for $27. You have to join tonight by midnight. I'll know who joined by midnight. School tells me you get that for $27, that marketing along with it. So definitely there. Yep. And I did threaten everybody, if they didn't have music suggestions, I would just play AI music on that post. So, which I already posted some AI music in the group. So they were like, no. Lorena's like, no, not doing that.
So Lorena understood the assignment.
Yes, she definitely understood.
That's awesome.
All right. Any other questions while I was talking or anything? Yeah, that was trying to make the arugula work, but it did kind of get it done. So that daily misting sucks though. But I'm going to try your method with amaranth. If it works, definitely will put that back in a big rotation, because I kind of knocked it out of rotation just because of low yields and fighting with it. And we just don't have, space to fight with things, because I need to sell stuff. You missed a good one, Andy.
Yeah, Tracy, you're right. That was a long, long day on Thursday. I had to do deliveries. I also had to drop my wife off about an hour away for a Christian weekend that she's on right now. So she's actually out for till tomorrow evening. So yeah, it was a long, long day. By the time I realized what was going on, it was already like 9:30, and I was like, yeah.
That's about the time we were in. That's the time we were giving away all the one-on-ones.
Yep. So yeah, I wish I could have been part of it, guys, because it would have been really cool. But I mean, obviously, congratulations on 100 people in there, and you got way more than that now. Yeah, and your 5,000 people on YouTube. That's fantastic. I'm excited. You guys deserve it, man. You definitely put the time in for sure.
Thank you, Andy. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no worries.
Genetic Memory Farm says they have a question. Well, ask away.
What's your question? I have a question for you. What is your question?
As they're typing very rapidly, as fast as they possibly can.
As they can. All right. Do we get the giveaway to bring up?
Oh, nice, Karina.
Build a new rack. Nice.
Yep.
We're pretty fast at building racks nowadays.
Yeah.
We can lift them babies out.
You'd be amazed how quick you get at it.
Exactly where you need to put the clips, everything. You don't even have to think about it.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Question from Genetic Farms is there.
Been looking the sources of seeds, and it looks like Seminis, Bayer, Sataka, Syngenta, Herbs by Design are the primary sources, but they are only sold via distributors.
Them are not where you want to get microgreen seeds from. And do not get Bayer seeds. Do not.
Bayer is not a company we like. So
Them are big guys.
Those are all like row crop seeds, large company seeds, and seeds from possibly not GMO origin. There's some things that they deal with. You want to look more towards. You guys can go through the list.
If you get in our school group, the Growth Bites, it's the school, skool.com/Growth Bites. In our resources in there, we got our list of where we buy our seeds, and it starts with, just to let you know, Greener Harvest, True Leaf, Mums. They're kind of back and forth, 2 and 3, depending on where you're going. Johnny's would be number 4 for me. Don't usually get to 5, really. Osborne, maybe. Osborne would be on there, because we do get some stuff from Osborne that we can't get anywhere else. Haas is starting to get some stuff, but stay with the top 3 to 4 there. Andy, you agree?
Yeah. I mean, we're primary Greener Harvest, what we can get from Josh, and then whatever we can't get from him, we go through Mums. There's very few that we get from True Leaf, and really it's just like their spicy salad mixes. We really like the mix. We could obviously buy all the seeds individually and make our own mix, but it's already done. So that's about the only thing we get from them. I mean, and we've never had any bad seed from them. Thankfully, we've been lucky, but we know plenty of people who have. But I mean, everybody loves everything that comes from Greener Harvest. And the only thing I would not get from Mums is what, people? If we remember? Amaranth. Don't buy their amaranth. Everything else they have is awesome. But Greener Harvest obviously is in the US. You're going to pay way less on shipping. Your stuff's going to arrive way faster. And you get to support Josh, who's an awesome guy who's definitely put his time into the microgreen industry as well. So make sure you definitely get out there and support him. He's got the best seed you can get, 100%. And we're not just saying that. It's been proven over and over and over and over and over.
And even though the box comes in, looks like they bowled with it, we're throwing in some pins. The seeds are all good. And it takes about 3 days to get here. So,
yeah, they do hate your boxes, Josh, big time.
They hate your boxes, Josh.
They're just wrecked every time they arrive.
They use a lot of tape, though. I will give Josh credit because they definitely wrap that box in tape, because otherwise I think it would explode. Yep.
And I always love it because it has Mandy's really nice handwriting on the outside of the box.
Itty bitty microphone.
For somebody's nice handwriting. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that is Mandy's writing.
Competition's paid UPS off.
Yeah, for real, man. I'm telling you. It's so bad.
Everybody, same issue.
It's the same thing.
Well, at least we know they're all buying your seeds, Josh. So that's a good thing.
That's it. Yeah, those poor boxes get abused.
Yeah, we have a list on.
Oh, it is Mandy's good.
Yeah, it's the resources and supplies list.
Yep. Show that screen again. So.
Yeah, Josh, if it was your handwriting, I'd be wondering about you, man. Oops. It's very girly.
Yes. So if you go to the Growth Bites, you go in the classrooms. If you get in there, it's
equipment and supplies top right.
Sorry, I moved stuff around recently. So equipment and supply list, and then you're gonna be able to click on that link, and it's all in there. So quick, easy resource where you can go and click on links and get stuff. So.
Yep.
Oh yes, and I do love Josh's. Usually has some Bible verse that comes along with his stuff as well. So it's on every tag.
Which is also, Yep, which is also really cool.
We want stickers. I like that. I second that, Josh. We want stickers.
Yeah, come on, Josh. Send me a sticker.
Get on it.
Oh God, now everybody wants stickers.
Josh, the people have spoken. Just like the people have spoken that I need a GoPro. People have spoken they want a sticker.
Don't get him started on the GoPro.
Oh yeah, Greener Harvest is definitely good with customer service. They will make it right.
Faith of a mustard seed. Yep.
Yep, that's it, man. That's it.
Oh, he's coming full on merch going. Yeah. There we go.
Oh, nice. You have a Greener Harvest hat.
All right. Has everybody got hashtag Thumbcast in? 17 GoPros. Yes, Raina. I'm going to need a few more people over into my group on school so I can afford
a lot more people. Oh, man.
They're only about $600 a piece. So,
We do have Fresh Source Farm stickers, by the way.
There you go. We have itty bitty stickers.
We do.
We too.
There's one on that cash register right there.
There is one on the
Yeah.
cash
Yeah.
register.
So Josh is the only one slacking out of the three of us.
Yeah. What's up with that?
If only he worked harder.
Yes, Josh. Get him a GoPro. All right. We're at 21 entries. Good job, guys. We got 31 watching though, so I figured we'd have 31.
I have 4 kids, but
Yeah,
they're all
that's not
taller
bad.
than me,
Free
so I'd
stuff.
have like camera angles, all sorts of weird.
Just showing right above her head.
You can't
Yeah.
ever see me. Just the top of my hairline.
That'd be like if my wife was on. If she was sitting next to me, you literally wouldn't be able to see her.
Well, yeah,
Should
when
be
she was
off
sitting
camera.
with you for
we
the
figured
co-
it out.
thing. Yeah, we figured it out. She had to sit really tall though.
Oh yeah, she did, because she's like probably about this high compared to me in height. I mean, I'm 6'1" and she's 4'9", so it's a huge difference between the two of us.
All right, we got
Nice.
Rob's in on that.
Been harassing him for a hat for a year. Love it.
Get on
Poor
it, Josh.
Josh.
All right. I think we're stabilized. I don't see anything.
Looks like
Coming in.
21 entries it is.
That's great.
So who do
Poor
you think
Josh.
is going to win, guys?
Oh, I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah, shoot.
Now you got to pick. Make it count.
scrolling up.
I think it's
I'm
gonna
going
be
with.
Chris.
Oh,
Oh, you picked the same guy.
He's got to win now.
Yeah, you gotta win. Oh man.
I don't know if
maybe
I've
I'll
ever
have to
seen
pick somebody
Chris
different.
here, but welcome, Chris. If you've been here before, thank you. And here we go. Good luck, everybody.
All right, I'm gonna keep my pick. Come on, Chris. Well, come on, everybody, but
It just went right past him.
Come back.
Oh,
Lorena.
Hey, Lorena. Nice.
Lorena. It was almost Chris. It was the last one right before.
All
You
right.
guys were close.
Oh.
Lorena is one of the people that was in the Growth Bites live party. Obviously, you guys, we talked about it earlier, and she's got a 30-minute one-on-one already. So she's winning all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
And a
If you didn't like the
collaboration
music,
on
then you can
Instagram.
blame Lorena.
Yeah.
Yep, if
Lorena,
you didn't
how
like
many
the music
spins?
on the live, then you can blame her.
Yes. I did throw a little stuff in there because she didn't have enough like rock stuff in there. So from the 80s.
Oh yeah,
90s,
yeah. You gotta have
so.
some rock.
18, Jess.
Girl.
Oh man.
All right, guys, there's some good
You
stuff
realize-
on there. One-on-one with Andy, Farm Flow 3 months, 6 months, one-on-one with me, some merch. We got shirts and hats and stuff. So
Lorena, you realize poor Jess has been harvesting all day, right? And you made her click the mouse 18 times. What kind of friend are you?
I'll sacrifice. It's okay.
all right.
Are we ready?
We're ready when you're ready. All right, let's go.
She's worth it. Lorena's awesome. Oh, look at all those. Man, that was some quick clicking too. All right, see what you got, Lorena. She
Mine is
still
like
loves me.
delayed, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, mine is too. I
Farm
have
Flow 6
no
months?
clue what's happening. Ooh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
All right, she already has this.
You were close.
She already has this.
She already has this. You want to
She's
spin
part
it
of- She's
again?
part of our group, so she has all our sheets. So
Yeah, let's spin it again. Let's give her something different. Oh, you just. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can just hit remove and it just disappears. I'm fancy like that.
Nice.
can't win
For
that
some reason, my brain thought you were removing Lorena, but that's impossible. I was
Andy,
like,
you're
"Whoa,
trying to
no, wait."
remove
Oh, yeah.
Lorena?
Can you tell I've
Let's
slept very
try-
little in the last 3 days?
What is
Right.
the sleep thing?
What is this sleep thing? All right, let's do 18 again.
Come on, stop.
Seeds? Awesome t-shirt?
Oh, could be
Which
some
is it?
seeds. Looks like
Oh,
it's gonna be
Josh.
seeds. Nice.
It's going to be seeds. Yes. All right. Congratulations, Lorena. And congratulations,
Nice.
Josh. Since you're on here, you get to give away some seeds to Lorena. So,
Lorena, you could be the first Greener Harvest seed recipient that has a sticker.
yeah. Well, if
See if
you
we
get
can
a
make that
sticker,
happen.
show us. Make sure you
She
show
almost got a second t-shirt. She already won a t-shirt last night
Yeah.
or Thursday.
Yep, she won a t-shirt then too. So, yep, she's going to win a lot of things. You know why? Because she shows up.
Yep,
shows
that
up
she
to
does,
things.
man. Every time.
So, get a hold of Josh at Greener Harvest Seeds. I'm assuming we still got his email. If not, I'll get it to you. So yeah, because I got his email. So you're in our group. We'll get it to you and everything else. So again, I appreciate everybody who's been part of this, and try not to say this as it's ending, because this is an ending. We will be back. We'll check the format, maybe change a little bit of things, but we will be back. 3 to 4 weeks. We'll be back here on probably Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Just need a little bit of time here to get things settled in with all this stuff and everything like that, and maybe shave occasionally. I haven't even got time to trim this stuff up and stuff. So all the stuff that we need to do, personal life and everything else, and getting more videos out that are standalone videos for you guys, getting them cilantro videos out, the basil videos, taking care of our group over there at the school. So I hope to connect to you guys over there in the meantime. So go over to school.com/growthbites or go to the Microgreen one. We'd love to have you over there as a paid member as well. But if not, connect with you as a free one as well. So we, again, appreciate you guys all being here. And we will see you in a few weeks. Andy, you got anything?
No, that was it. I mean, obviously, you can still find us in our groups. You know, the Microgreens Entrepreneurs Group, Microgreens for Beginners. There are 2 school groups, our school group, Urban Ag Academy. So if you want to get in on that, you know, that's the best ways to reach all of us. You know, between Mike, Jess, me, Robert, Josh, you know, we're all heavily involved in those groups. So, you know, get out there and try and find us through there, at least in the meantime. And you never know, we may throw out some random lives here and there, just to keep things happening and go from there. So we appreciate you guys, though. It's awesome to get to this point. And, you know, this is just bye for now. I want to make that very, very clear. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the Itty Bitty Micro Farm YouTube page, because that's how you're going to find out when the next one's going to come up. Obviously, we'll post it in our Facebook groups as well, but that's the easiest way to get that notification. You know, turn the bell on, all that fun stuff, and then that way you'll know when we go live then. So it worked out good when we start back up.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Appreciate you guys.